There are three ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. And the third way is to be kind. Although not his own, that quote is most famously affiliated with Mr. Rogers. I know, it's probably been a while since you last heard that name. Maybe you're my age or older and you were watching him on TV. Or maybe you're younger, you never saw the show, but you still know who he is. Now why is that? Especially considering the last episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood aired in 2001. Think about this. Who since then has emulated and promoted kindness in a way that he has? Are there any other public figures in recent history that come to mind? Is it a coincidence that our environment seems more hostile than ever? I believe that we need to reteach and reinforce kindness. Now, going back to my beginning quote, when he said that, he wasn't talking to children. In fact, if you were to comb through his 40 plus years in television, you may be surprised to find that he never explicitly told children to be kind. When he said that quote, it was actually aimed at adults, college graduates. Isn't that ironic? So I grew up in the generation that was first introduced to social media. So phones were getting smaller and they had the internet, so therefore your friendships didn't have to stop at school. You didn't have to wait the next day to show off your brand new shoes or that video game. You could continue those relationships online, good and bad. Now consider this. Those bullies that you only had to deal with at school, they could harass you at home now. Cyberbullying became a thing in the 1990s, and since then has become a more persistent problem. Now we call them internet trolls. It's funny that social media, the platforms with the initial intention to unite and connect us, have also been the same devices that have made us more divided than ever. And mental health has become increasingly more important. In the US alone, the annual suicide rate has increased 30% between 2000 and 2022. Of the younger population, suicide is the second leading cause amongst 10 to 24-year-olds. A recent study has shown that in just high school students, 19% of students have seriously considered attempting suicide. 9% have actually attempted it. Children should not be this sad. But then what happens when you turn on the news? It's also depressing and angry, right? You have politicians who are barely debating policy anymore. It's just name-calling and finger-pointing. It's the other group that's wrong. It's seldom that we as a nation celebrate grand victories together. So what do? The solution should be easy and straightforward. Just be kind to one another. Respect each other. Practice the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Listen to each other, and I mean really listen to each other, to different perspectives and opinions. You might find that you actually have more in common than you think. And I know it's not always easy. You may think people are undeserving of your kindness, or you may have found that it's been ungratifying. But it all makes a difference. You make a difference. We don't have a Mr. Rogers today, but what we do have is each other. And we have the tools to accomplish great things together. It all starts with practicing what we were taught as kids. Just be kind, for it truly is the ultimate way to our success.